Tomorrow morning, we head off to the racetrack. I have been waiting for this day, and I am a little anxious, excited. I think it's going to be a great time. Hopefully everything works out. So I'm out here in the garage getting it set up for road course trim. Maybe I'll walk you around and show you what I've got going on. Got a little light rain falling outside, but it should be a nice day tomorrow. There's like maybe a 10% chance of rain in the forecast. Hopefully it doesn't do that. The paddock is covered there, so if I don't need to go out, I don't have to. But so I've got my window nets on, and then over here, some light. Fire suit. I've got a Hans device and my helmet and arm restraints. So that's all loaded up. I think I need to get a chair still in the back. And that should be just about it. In the morning I'll pack a lunch. Oh, I've got driving shoes. I use this for autocross too, and the helmet. I have the audio all hooked up, so that'll get a quality test tomorrow. The results of that will be more in the review of this system, which will be a different video. But I do have it already tested against the GoPro there, so I did a short little recording, and it is picking up the audio from the mics. So in this video, you should be able to hear the instructions to me while we drive. The wing is in road course mode, so a little flatter. I tested the rear diffuser the other day. I mounted a GoPro back there and hit a little bit of speed just to make sure that things weren't shaking. So I think we'll be good. We may be going, 20, 30 would be ambitious, but 10 to 20 mile an hour over the speeds I tested at, but I think we'll be fine. I didn't see really any shaking in the GoPro video. It's time. Been waiting for this day since the last track day last year on the old motor, and today we get to really stretch its legs and test it out. I am excited. So everything's loaded up. Let's hit the road and get to the track. So anxious for race day that I arrived at the paddock a little early, one of the first ones there. So parked and got to work getting myself ready for full race trim. That meant adjusting the compression and rebound on the shocks and tire pressures, unpacking the car a little bit, moving my lunch off to the side and all that stuff. And the car started to arrive. There were some beautiful cars out there and some definite gearheads, and people are out there often. After that, a little driver's meeting, and then it was time for the first time out on course. Have an instructor with me, and the first session is really under full caution the whole time, so there's no passing and you're not really driving super hard. Instructor is getting to learn your car a little bit, asking you some questions, and you're just learning the race line. I have driven here a couple times before, so I kind of know where the line's at, but the instructor doesn't know that, so he's making sure that we're good as well.
How long you been doing this, Dwight?
Since '94.
Awesome.
What are you trying to get out of this session there? Usually what I want to see drivers know where the corner workers are first.
What am I trying to get out?
Yeah.
I think this is my third time on track, second with this car. But first this year. And I would like to get out of the novice group. That's probably my main goal. But obviously continue to learn the line here. This is a completely different engine that I've only had running for 4 weeks, so obviously learn the car a little bit too, because it's going to be different.
In session 2, I get to drive hard. Obviously, we have to wait a couple times for some other cars that are slower in front of us. This is definitely the fastest car in the novice class. All the really fast cars are in the intermediate and advanced. So we are stuck behind cars fairly often, but when you're not stuck behind a car, you still get to drive hard, and it's a lot of fun. And the instructor's keeping track of your safety on course. That's the primary concern. So are you passing well? Are you looking at corners, looking ahead when you drive? Are you being safe? So here's a little bit of video from the second session, and getting to drive the car hard. Unfortunately, the advanced group session ended a little prematurely. The Ferrari that was out there found a wall The driver is all right, and I didn't get any video of that wreckage there. It didn't look terrible, but it was definitely messed up. Sad to see, but glad that the driver was all right. So that means that our third session was kind of a little sooner than I was ready for, so we had to get into the car real quick and get out to the track, and here's a little video from the third session. I will be putting all of the raw video from the sessions in a different video. Won't have much commentary. It'll just be video of the time on track for anyone that's interested in watching all that. The intermediate session directly follows the novice session. So following my third session, the instructor hopped out of the car, went over and talked to some of the organizers of the event, verified that I was good enough to go run with the intermediates. They were going to keep an eye on me while I was out on track and make sure I was being safe. It was kind of a little bit of a test to make sure I was ready to move to intermediate. So intermediate was already out on course. I was in a super rush to get out there with them. So unfortunately I didn't get any of the GoPro video because I just forgot to start the camera. I did record a little bit of the inside of the car. So here's some video from the inside of the car. Next time when I'm intermediate, I'll definitely be getting a lot more video, have a little more time. Having an instructor actually soaks up a little bit of your time in trying to get prepared, because got to make sure he's there with you and in the car and everything, and it's a little distracting from making sure you turn on cameras and things like that. So the next event here in October should be a little bit better in terms of camera work. Day. I moved from novice to intermediate, so The next track session is here in a month, and I will be with the intermediate group. So that's super exciting. I am glad to be out of the novice group. So excellent day. The car did really well. I don't think I saw a temp above 182. I don't have an oil temp sensor in here. That's kind of on the to-do list. So I would like to data log that. I did run data logging, I think, on 2 of the sessions. And as you saw in the video, I didn't record everything on every session. So I don't think I didn't even get any telemetry on the first session, which really is just kind of for the novices, just a slow cruise around the course, and really not much else, learning a little bit of passing. But so, you know, you guys have already seen it at this point, but you'll see what I got, or at least pieces of what I got in recording. It's definitely way faster than the last version of this car with the old motor. Noticeable difference, and my driving line definitely suffered a couple of times just because of the power. The brakes, I'll need to address those. They are definitely underpowered. I probably need to just go out once or twice and just do some like 30-mile-an-hour slam on the brakes. I'm not even sure I can lock these up. I was pressing pretty hard on the brake pedal in a couple spots to get this slowed down. It never boiled the fluid. I never got a spongy pedal or lost the brakes, but it definitely doesn't feel as boosted as it should be. So I'll have to look into that. Maybe a vacuum canister in addition to the vacuum pump that I put in would help. I need to do some research. I'm also maybe going to look at some different pads. These are Carbotech XP8s, and you can definitely go to 10s or 12s, or some Hawk Racing pads. So perhaps some pads will help. Just need to do some research. 2 issues I had on track today that I'll need to look into. One, I didn't do it on the dyno, but today on track, this breather tank, I don't know if it just got too full, but it started puking a little bit of oil. You can actually, I don't know if you can tell it or not, but this is kind of oily right here. Didn't do it too much, and I opened this up, I think that was after the second session, and drained this out. I made a mess on the paddock floor and had to clean that up, but drain that out, and then it was better behaved the next 2 sessions. So I did drain it right before we went this morning. So I don't know if maybe it just got the engine a little over full, or I need to work on, like, maybe get a different breather with more baffling or something. So I'll need to look into that. And then the other issue is these mirrors. These are definitely stiffer. You saw it in a different video if you watched it, where I swapped out these mirrors. They're definitely stiffer than the old ones, but around about 120 mile an hour, they do start bending back. So the old ones started bending around 60 mile an hour. The wind would start pushing them backwards. These ones are good to 110, 120, somewhere in that range. So I think its solution is pretty simple, though. I think I just need to pull this bolt out and get some star washers in between, just to kind of like sandwich this down and help it grip this bar. So I'll have to work on that, getting those tightened up so they don't really move on me. Well, I think I said this already a couple times, but it was a fantastic day. The weather was beautiful, mid-70s and sunny. It rained last night, so I was a little worried, but everything dried up, and there was one small puddle off the racing line on the track, and just a fantastic day out there on the track, doing some performance driving. Unfortunately, there was a wreck. The driver is all right, but He was in a Ferrari F360, I think, and he went off track, and I think he hit a concrete wall and messed the car up pretty good. He's fine. The car, not so much, but good to see a Ferrari owner out there actually pushing a car and driving it hard. I think he was in the intermediate group, or he might have been in the advanced group, but good to see a Ferrari driver out there pushing his car hard and driving it the way it was meant to be. So thanks for coming along on the ride. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.